Natalie from the Missouri Star Quilt Company. Welcome to the Intermediate Quilt Series. I wanted to show you how to make this circles quilt that I found in American Patchwork and Quilting. It's the August 2009 edition, and the quilt is called Dot to Dot. It's very cute, and it can be made using 6 yards of variety of fabrics. We used mainly Riley Blake and some Sweet and a few other coordinating fabrics that we enjoyed. And it's very easy to do, so I will show you how it's done. For our quilt, we used 12.5 inch and 6.5 inch squares, but we think that it would be very easy to adapt this to layer cakes and charm packs, as they are 10 inches and 5 inches. We're going to show you how to use this easy circle cut ruler by Sharon Hultgren to make our circles, but first we need to prep our fabric by putting a piece of fusible webbing ironed onto the back side of your fabric. So I'm going to go over to the ironing board now and iron that on. Okay, we're using Pellon's Wonder Under iron-on stabilizer, and it comes by the yard, and we just cut a little piece about 6 inches square to iron on the back of our fabric, and you just set your iron on it and hold it for 10 seconds or so, and then you're done. I want to explain the ruler. It has a fabric fold line here, which is the this dark line. And so when you take your fabric and fold it in half, that is the line that you place on the fabric. Just like that. Now when you're doing a circle to go in the middle of a square, I learned the hard way that you need to make sure it's about 2 inches smaller than your square. Because if you'll notice here on these ones, this one is 2 inches smaller, and this circle is only 1 inch smaller, which doesn't leave you enough seam allowance. So 2 inches smaller than your square. So for our 6 inch circle, or for our 6 inch square, we're going to make a 4 inch circle. And you can do this 2 ways. The instructions on the back say that you can use your rotary cutter to cut the circle, and they recommend using a much smaller one than the one we have. So I'm going to use a pencil and just trace the line and cut it out with a pair of scissors. I'm cutting out the circle for our circle square. And there you have a perfect little circle. And it can go however you like it. You can turn them or twist them. And so what we're going to do is peel this backing off, and then we'll iron it on and do a nice little blanket stitch around the edge, so it'll look just like that when we're done. Okay, so you take your paper off the back, and then you place your circle, and you can measure this or you can just eyeball it, and then you iron it on. It sticks nice and tight. Then we take it over to our sewing machine and do our blanket stitch. To finish off the edges, we chose to do the blanket stitch because we think it's nice and a pretty edge, but you can choose whichever stitch you like. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and do this on the machine. We're all done. You see that there, how it looks nice and finished around the edges. We'll clip the strings and give it a good press. And then now you know the basic construction of the block. Now that you've seen how to make the basic construction of the block, you can make this block in a variety of sizes. You can make your large 12-inch squares, your smaller 5 or 6 inch squares. If you do make any of these projects, we'd love to see them in our forums. And watch for us to make a quilt in this same pattern out of layer cake and a charm pack. That will be coming soon. Hope you enjoyed our tutorial from Missouri Star Quilt Company.